He's Mark Teixeira. He's working for the Major League Baseball Network today and tomorrow. The Yankee first baseman joining us, Dan Patrick Show. We were just talking about this. Does it bother you when a media guy, let's say myself or Tom Verducci, who hasn't played the game, critiques you and your performance or the Yankees?
I think the biggest thing that I've never really had a problem when I go for 4 and strike out 4 times, and Dan Patrick goes on the show the next day and says, "Man, Tex sucked last night." You know what? You're right. I have no problem with that. I think the biggest thing, and it doesn't happen much, is when guys might make an assumption that players don't work hard, players don't care, players are aloof. You know, there's guys all the time that talk about Robbie Cano. He doesn't run hard to first base. He doesn't work hard. He doesn't do this. He doesn't care. That could be farthest from the truth. And as a teammate, as a player, if it happens to me, that's when I think we take it personally, when guys who don't know us, don't know the game, aren't in the clubhouse every day, make an assumption about character or work ethic.
Okay, let me talk about last night's games. Kershaw going on short rest. I did not like it. I know that it ended up the end result, the Dodgers move on. But to have the best pitcher in baseball, go on short rest, your thoughts about that? And as a hitter, facing a guy who's not going on 5 days rest, but maybe going on 4 or 3 days rest.
Yeah, you know what? I've always been under the assumption that you save that short rest bullet for a must-win game. And maybe Don Mattingly thought yesterday was a must-win game. You're going back to Atlanta if there's a Game 5. And so in that respect, I would say that he made the right call. But that being said, in the first round of a long playoff, the World Series, if you win a World Series, it's a long, grueling playoffs. You don't want your number one guy, getting banged up early on and maybe throwing too many pitches on short rest early on because he may not be the same for the rest of the playoffs. So as a hitter, if I see a guy that is going on short rest early in a non-must-win game, I look at the other team and say, these guys are panicking, maybe we have an edge. Obviously they didn't last night because Kershaw pitched great.
Explain to me what goes on. You had Grant Balfour and Victor Martinez. They're jawing in the A's-Tigers series in the ninth inning. Like, what is going on in the moment where you guys are ready to, guys are going to go to blows?
There are certain times in a game where, tensions are really, really high, and you forget everything that is normal and sane about playing baseball in front of millions of people. And it happens. Listen, people lose their temper, guys get in fights, and most of the time, a day later, a week later, guys go, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it happens. It's the heat of the moment. We care. We really, we play all season for the playoffs, and sometimes you get so locked in and you're so intense about the game that emotions run out of control.
He's Mark Teixeira, the Yankees first baseman. He'll be working on the Major League Baseball Network today and tomorrow, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. The awkwardness of A-Rod when he's there in the dugout or when the media's there, as somebody who is an innocent bystander here, how does it affect you guys? What goes through your minds when you're seeing all of this stuff where you're trying to act normal?
Well, I think I'm in the same boat as a lot of guys. It's very tough for teammates of Alex, especially guys who have played a long time with him, to be objective about this. We like Alex. He's a good teammate. He's a friend to a lot of us. He is a mentor to a lot of the Latin players on the team. So when it comes to on the field, in the dugout, there really are no distractions because you're playing the game. Professional athletes have a really good way of tuning out all of the negatives, all of the distractions off the field once they're in between the lines. So during the game, the dugout, no problems, no issues. The thing with the media and off the field, we have no idea what's going on. This has been the craziest story that, a lot of us just stopped paying attention altogether. We didn't care because it got so out of control.
But you don't even talk to him about it? It's none of your business?
No, it really isn't. I support him. I'll text him in the off season. Already we've emailed a couple times. He got on me because Miami beat Georgia Tech last weekend. So I'll say, hey man, thinking about you. let me know if you need anything. Just kind of one of those type of things. But listen, there's guys that go through divorces. There's guys that go through legal troubles in the off season. I don't call them up and say, "Hey, man, what'd your lawyer say?" That's really none of my business. We're friends, and I'm going to support them and just wish them the best.
More important for the Yankees, you got to pick one. You can have Cano or Girardi.
That is the most unfair question you've ever asked.
Oh,
me.
Tex, come on! I went high and tight. I buzzed the tower. Okay.
Okay. How do I hedge myself here? The only thing I can say is that, I love Joe, but he's not going to hit 30 and drive in 100. He's not going to hit 30 and drive in 100. And I think Robbie will next year. So
well, he's got a better chance than Girardi does.
He does. But I love Joe. That's how I'm going to hedge.
Is Cano ready for this the pressure that goes with those contracts, Mark? As you found out, when they put big bucks out there, people expect a whole lot more.
I think Robbie is, because he's played in New York from the time he was a rookie. There are certain guys, I took a little bit of a chance. Me and CC Sabathia talked about this at length our not rookie year, our first year at the Yankees. We could have taken the easy road out, played in a mid-market, made basically the same amount of money, and kind of flown under the radar. But we both kind of rose to the challenge and said, listen, we're going to come in here together. We're going to have all the scrutiny. We're going to have the contracts. We're going to try to win a World Series. And, that's what we did. That's kind of the competitiveness, a little bit of the ego that comes with being an athlete, is that you want to be challenged. Robbie has already been challenged. He's already played in New York. He's already shown that he can, handle all the scrutiny, all of the pressure. I think the contract just adds one more layer to that, but he's already proven that he really handles pressure well. Before
I let you go, the disparity between when you win on a bottom of the ninth home run, the Dodgers close out the Braves, you saw the Rays stay alive. When you hit that home run, or when you're in the field when somebody hits the home run, give us the ebb and flow, the both ends of the rainbow there with emotions. What's it like?
Yeah. Hitting a walk-off home run is, or having a walk-off win at all, is one of the greatest feelings in baseball. And you feel invincible. You feel like your team's never going to lose again. And when you're on the other side of that, when you have to walk off the field while the other team is celebrating, it's really tough. You don't sleep that night. The next morning you get to the ballpark, you're still thinking about that game. Now, the beautiful thing is we play baseball every day. So if your pitcher goes out there the next day after a walk-off loss and he shoves and he's given up, one run in 7 innings, chances are you're going to win that next day, no matter what the emotions are. So, the old cliche in baseball is, momentum is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. And I think that's very true.
Have fun on the Major League Baseball Network, and great to talk to you again, Mark.
Thanks a lot, Dan. I always appreciate it.
Mark Teixeira. That was good.